They say these creatures only exist in dusty old books, or went extinct thousands of years ago. But tapes from the freezing Bering Sea to the Mediterranean are telling a different, bloody story-webbed hands tearing through steel nets, heart-rending screams echoing across the open ocean, and frantic attacks on our very own ships. The silence has ended. They are no longer running. They are fighting back, angry, desperate. From divers in the Red Sea to fishermen in the Pacific, everyone is facing a truth: we have encroached too deep, and the ocean is reclaiming what belongs to it. Don't expect beautiful Disney mermaids. These are raw, shaky footages recording the fragile line between life and death. I warn you, these images can be extremely disturbing. But if you are brave enough to scroll down, remember one thing next time you stand before the night sea and hear a whispering call: never answer. Hand clinging to the net, tug of war with destiny. The first video comes from the icy North Sea, where another creature is openly fighting fiercely for its own survival. Amidst the thick darkness of the North Sea, on a rocking fishing boat, a weak spotlight illuminates a scene of desperate struggle. Fishermen are straining to haul a heavy net onto the deck. In the tangle of ropes and mesh, a stark white merman figure suddenly appears. He isn't caught entirely inside the net, but terrifyingly, a slender webbed hand is gripping the net edge tight as he is being pulled up. Most of the stark white, naked body of the beast remains outside, struggling in the air and the pitch-black sea below. He is thrashing violently, trying to pull his hand free from the tightening mesh, while his powerful tail repeatedly slams against the water or the hull, creating bone-chilling sounds. His eyes, flashing under the dim light, are filled with terror and despair as he is dragged from his familiar habitat. The crew, eyes wide with shock, mixed with fear, struggle to hold the net while witnessing this fierce survival battle. Every action of the beast is a cry for help, a final attempt to regain freedom. He is a true picture of a creature fighting against fate and human encroachment. Then, in a brief moment, that hand slips from the mesh, or the creature summons all life force to yank it free. He falls straight down into the dark water with a soft splash. He disappears in an instant, returning a creepy silence. Fleeing in despair. Sometimes, a direct encounter with them is a death trap. It was a survey dive in the deep and pristine waters of the Galapagos Islands. The diver was filming around a large volcanic rock when suddenly he saw a merman creature hovering, rushing straight toward him. This creature bore pale skin, large and seemingly glowing eyes, and flowing light blonde hair. It swam so agilely and decisively, showing no fear. That action, though aggressive, was a natural reaction. It was protecting its territory from a stranger shining light. The following footage is chaos. The camera shakes, images blur, and the diver begins to struggle violently. Maybe he was attacked by the creature, or tried to swim back to the surface to escape the danger zone. The flashlight spins aimlessly, leaving only blue streaks and flickering shadows. Although the creature's action might have harmed the diver, viewers feel pity for it. This is the act of one cornered, forced to use violence to protect its precious isolation. The video ends abruptly with a black screen, leaving only the sound of bubbling water. No one knows the diver's fate, and the mystery of the survival battle at the bottom of the Galapagos Sea sinks back into darkness, proving there are limits humans should not cross. Raid in the dark. The tragedy of the diver in the Galapagos confirmed that, when provoked, these species will respond with violence. But what happens if they are the ones to initiate the war? It was a moonless night on the Mediterranean Sea. A small fishing boat bobbed in an ominous silence. Suddenly, the water surrounding the vessel began to churn with savage intensity. From the pitch-black abyss, two ghastly creatures possessing gray-green skin and spiked heads lined with fangs shot up the gunnel like arrows. Their appearance was ferocious, their bloodshot eyes reflecting the artificial deck lights. The scene descended into utter chaos. They clawed at the hull with razor-sharp talons, scrambling to pull themselves onto the deck. Ambushed and paralyzed by sheer panic, the fishermen had no time to react. Screams and the sound of frantic footsteps blended with the brutal thuds of the creatures battering the hull. Their arrival was not born of curiosity. It was a calculated attack, fueled by rage and resentment. These two creatures were the very embodiment of oceanic vengeance. They were not merely monsters, they were warriors of the deep, having decided that the only way to halt human encroachment was to sow absolute terror. The night closed in darkness and chaos, leaving a lingering question: could that tiny boat survive this uneven battle against the wrath of the Mediterranean? Nightmare trapped in the net. If the fierce attack of the creature in the Mediterranean was a declaration of war, then this is the tragic image of a warrior captured in that battle. In the cold, gray waters near Iceland, fishermen are pulling up their catch net. This time, they didn't find fish, but a merman creature completely trapped. This creature bears gray skin, covered in mud or scales, and its face is a horrific deformity, wide open, soulless eyes, and a mouth gaping as if screaming in silence. It is squeezed tight in the rough net, its upper body protruding out, thrashing madly in a desperate effort to escape. Fishermen in waterproof gear show expressions of both amazement and trying to control the situation. The footage focuses on the struggle this creature is using all its strength to claw and push the mesh, its body tense with fear and pain of being dragged from its habitat. This scene ends the sequence with a tragedy, whether they can attack or flee. Ultimately, human power and invasion remain something the ocean's mysteries struggle to resist. Darkness covering the truth. Although humans always try to capture or even kill them, these creatures always find a way to escape, as if protected by the ocean's darkness itself. After violent attacks and captures, we end the journey on a desolate, slippery rocky coast of the Faroe Islands at midnight. Under the dim crescent moon, two half-human, half-fish creatures are sitting quietly on a rock jutting out of the water. They have a slender appearance, pale skin reflecting dim light from the water. Their eyes and faces look distant, exuding loneliness and alertness. That quiet moment is broken when a light or unexpected sound, perhaps from the cameraman, reaches them. Immediately, the two creatures move quickly. They don't roar or attack, but quietly slide off the rock, vanishing like ghosts. They dive into the freezing water with amazing agility, leaving small ripples and a creepy feeling. This flight is a poignant reminder they are too tired of human presence. That retreat is a final affirmation that they don't want to fight, don't want to be photographed or captured, but only want peace and isolation. Although we cannot know for sure if they are mermaids or not, their despair and desire for freedom are real. Two shadows disappearing under cold water are the final proof the ocean's mystery remains beyond our control. Danger close to the boat. Sadly, not all monsters are netted. Their rage still pursues innocence on the water, like in the Canary Islands. This video records chaotic and terrifying scenes on a small canoe, rocking amidst waves off the Canary Islands. Everything spirals out of control when two bizarre creatures rush out of the water at alarming speed. They bear ghastly, ferocious faces with sharp teeth and glowing eyes. One creature is clinging to the gunwale, its gray-green body tense with power and anger. It tries to climb up, sharp claws scratching the boat side in a desperate attempt to reach the people inside. The scariest is the second creature. It has climbed partly up and is currently leaping onto the boat. Its close-up image, with a threatening wide mouth, shows this attack is intentional and full of violence. People on the canoe are screaming and panicking, trying to use hands or fishing tools to repel the unexpected enemy. This is a survival scene, humans paying the price for their intrusion. These creatures have been pushed to use violence to reclaim respect and peace for their world. The ocean's anger has materialized, and people on the canoe face an inescapable life and death battle. Vengeance from the monster. Everyone just watched the violent attack of merfolk, but the ocean has other guards, those ready to fight for their territory with primal strength. This video has no merman, but it records an equally terrifying moment on a fishing boat off the Tasman Sea. Fishermen are trying to pull up a heavy net. When the caught fish is still near the gunwale, the water suddenly explodes. A giant white shark, with gaping mouth and sharp teeth, shoots straight out of the water like a torpedo. It attacks the netted fish with terrifying power. The sound of teeth grinding, tail fin whipping waves, and a large amount of seawater surging onto the deck make everything chaotic. Fishermen scream, trying to back away, because this giant predator is too close. This attack targets not only the fish, but is also nature's fierce fury. It's like a warning by pure violence when humans take too much from the ocean. The ocean itself will retaliate through its strongest creatures. This scene proves that, whether mysterious merman or natural beast, the ocean is becoming increasingly hostile and dangerous. Underwater predators no longer accept human presence easily. Trapped mermaid remains. Clearly, human invasion of the natural environment leaves these special creatures with no shelter and receiving extremely painful endings. This footage, recorded by an angler, is the coldest and most tragic proof. Under shallow, murky water, winding through branches and rotten leaves, he discovered something that should not exist: the skeleton of a half-human, half-fish creature. In history, humans were fascinated by artifacts like P.T. Barnum's famous Fiji Mermaid, a hoax made by sewing a monkey head to a fish body, sparking curiosity for millions. However, the skeleton lying underwater is completely different. It bears an exquisite, tragic, and chillingly realistic appearance. This tiny skeleton is almost intact, evoking the shape of a child. The head is a human skull of small size, lying tilted in the water, contrasting completely with the lower body, a slender spine continuing into complex and delicate fish fin bones. Around the gaunt ribcage are black algae strands clinging, as if protecting this final tragedy. This moment brings no horror, but a choking pain. That tiny, fragile skeleton is a silent accusation of the fate of a creature pushed to death. This is not its place, perhaps because the ocean environment was polluted, disturbed, or food sources depleted by humans. It had to seek shallow, unsuitable waters, choosing death because there was nowhere left to hide. The death of this young mermaid creature is a painful wake-up call. We are destroying not only our environment, but also the last mysteries the ocean holds. The bizarre sea gift. If you still dare not believe there are creatures bearing characteristics like this skeleton, then come to a fisherman catching fish from the Pacific. In this controversial video, an old fisherman with white hair and beard stands on a small boat amidst the misty sea. The yellow light of early morning or sunset shines on his rough face, and he is proudly showing off a strange trophy to the lens. In his hand is a creature shaped half human, half fish, but completely different from mythical descriptions. It has black-gray skin, rough as stone, with sharp spines or hard bones protruding from its back, creating an ancient and terrifying look. Its head is round, with large bulging eyes and a thin, almost emotionless mouth, suggesting a deep amphibian species. The fisherman holds it with two hands, cherishing it like a great discovery, while the creature's powerful fishtail hangs into a water bucket below. Whether a fake product or real creature, this scene still evokes profound pity. This creature, dragged from a dark and mysterious habitat, is suffering a tragic fate as a display item. Its cold, emotionless appearance is not aggression, but ultimate helplessness before human hands. It is a dying mystery, trading life for humanity's moment of curiosity. Strange thing in Alaska. And here is a story no one could expect. In 2001, a group of fishermen was fishing in the Gulf of Alaska, where the cold Bering Sea always hides countless secrets. It was a gloomy day, big waves hitting the gunnel. The fishermen were struggling with a giant net, heavy with fish and seawater, pulling it onto the hold. Everyone was tense, winch cables creaking under the gray sky. When the net was almost fully on deck, horror suddenly happened. Amidst the mess of herring and cod, a dark, gaunt hand suddenly reached out of the net. It wasn't a human hand, but bore a bizarre appearance. Long fingers stuck close together. That hand grabbed a nearby steel cable, the whole creature inside the net thrashing madly, twisting in a desperate attempt to escape. In just a flash, everything became chaotic. That creature, though form unclear, used all its amazing strength. It jerked hard, tore a corner of the net, then quickly slithered out and disappeared into the cold, deep water below. The whole process took only a few seconds, enough to make the stunned fishermen back away, staring at the empty space where the creature just vanished. The mystery of the Gulf of Alaska timely reclaimed its prisoner, leaving on the deck only silence, sea foam, and extreme horror. Lurking in the deep, not only on the surface, but under the sea, we also discover unbelievably creepy moments. This is footage recorded by a brave diver exploring deep coral caves in the Red Sea. His powerful flashlight beam penetrates the deep blue water, illuminating a jagged rock recess. Hiding deep inside is a merman creature with long, wet, messy hair. Its skin is pale, but what makes the diver stop is its action. That creature is hugging a smaller individual, looking like a child, tight to its chest, trying to protect it from sudden light. Its webbed hands with long fingers claw into the child. As soon as the light beam moves closer, the merman's face wrinkles. It doesn't flee, but gapes its mouth wide, roaring a silent scream underwater. This scene is full of despair and anger, not of a monster, but of a mother protecting her child. Its hollow, fierce face is the expression of extreme fear when detected by humans invading territory. The footage ends abruptly, leaving the question, what happened to that mother and child? And do we have the right to break their isolation just for our curiosity? Monster trapped in the net. Next is another scene from Fishermen, this time a fishing boat rocking amidst rough seas, gray sky, and drizzling rain. The unexpected event happens when fishermen are pulling the last net of the day. They didn't expect that. Instead of fish, they pulled up a living nightmare. Trapped in the green net is a half-human, half-fish creature. Fishermen in yellow jackets and blue overalls stand nearby, their faces showing extreme amazement and fear. This creature has stark white skin, contrasting with wet black hair and scales glistening like silver. As soon as the net touches the deck floor, that creature begins thrashing violently. It jerks hard, trying to tear the net, revealing a tail with purple-pink fins. Most importantly, the sound it opens its mouth wide, emitting bone-chilling cries, a sound unlike fish or human, but a piercing scream echoing amidst waves and wind. That cry is not just pain, but resentment, anger when dragged from the dark abyss. Fishermen look at each other, eyes full of panic. They know they caught something beyond natural boundaries, a mystery that could threaten their own lives. The question is, can this creature tear the net and bring its terror back to the deep sea? Moment of terrifying encounter. After that, tourists on this cruise ship will surely have an unforgettable memory. It was a sea excursion on a gloomy day, waves gently lapping the hull. On deck, a group of tourists was enjoying fresh air, until a gasp of amazement from someone made everyone turn their heads. Not far from the gunwale, two bizarre creatures are swimming on the water surface. They have merman-like shapes, with stark white, pale skin, and wet black hair. More specifically, their faces bear a ghostly look, large eyes and small mouths, creating a haunting contrast with the legendary beauty of mermaids. These creatures swim close to the ship, as if observing or curious about the strangers. Tourists on deck, including a man in a dark coat leaning over to look down, are frozen in shock and astonishment. They whisper, point, unable to believe what their eyes are seeing. This scene is both terrifying and mesmerizing. It breaks all natural laws we once knew, bringing them face to face with an unbelievable truth about what hides under the deep ocean. Whether a scary experience or a rare privilege, the encounter with these two strange creatures will surely haunt their minds forever, redefining the concept of the world they once trusted. When humanity becomes a cruel beast, seemingly not every seaman has a good heart. There are still those willing to harm that strange species just to satisfy their own curiosity. The frame moves to a painful incident in the boat hold. The merman beast, with stark white skin and a cornered look, has been completely captured in the net. 4 men, wearing waterproof gear, stand around him. Initial fear has been swapped for something worse, malicious curiosity. While 2 men use hands to pin him down, the fisherman in an orange jacket, likely the one filming, commits a horrific act. He points a knife at the beast. The intent of the blade isn't to release, but to investigate, to satisfy excessive greed. The merman beast lies there, trying to lift his head and scream in silence or pain, eyes rolling up in terror. The picture of him lying helpless under the cold blade is the peak of pity and outrage. This is a brutal contrast beside wonders. The sea still hides disasters. That strange species, a resident of the deep, is facing physical pain just to serve human selfish curiosity. This footage is no longer proof of merman existence, but an indictment of our cruelty and inhumanity toward defenseless species. The call in the dark night. Through brutal footage, this story brings us back to another, more haunting perspective on mysterious creatures, the enchanting power of sound. It is late night at sea. Pitch black darkness and silence cover the fishing boat. A young fisherman, on watch, is suddenly startled by strange cries echoing from offshore. That sound isn't waves, nor seabirds, but unusually ghostly and melodious tunes. Despite a bad feeling, he decides to go out to investigate. The sea is rough under dim light, but no creature appears. However, when he stands on deck, the sound becomes clearer, as if someone is very close, trying to talk. Those whispers sound like an invitation, repeating a sentence making hair stand on end. Jump for me. This is not just a cry for help, but a deadly enchantment. In Greek mythology, sirens were creatures using seductive voices to lure sailors, making them jump into the sea and die. That invitation, "Jump for me," is the modern version of that deadly love song. The fisherman stands there, body cold, fighting the inner urge to follow the mysterious invitation. He faced the ocean's biggest mystery not through form, but through the invisible and enchanting power of sound. What about your opinion after listening to all this information? Are you truly convinced that mermaids or mystical half-human, half-fish creatures exist in real life? Are those images just pranks of editing software, or a dark secret science is still dim about? We invite you to leave your personal opinion in the comments below. We are eager to wait for creative theories and unique perspectives from you. Remember to follow the channel to receive a series of strange events, spine-chilling mysteries, and shocking discoveries from the vast ocean abyss.